So you're finding that you've got people who watch your content, but they just never engage, and you're thinking, why? Now, there's a lurker reality, which is the fact that research shows that 90% of your audience, really on most social platforms, they're just like lurkers. So they're consuming your content, but they're not actually engaging publicly. And on LinkedIn, this might be that they're viewing your profile and reading your posts. They might even be clicking on your links and watching everything that you do, but they never actually like, comment, or share. And here's what most people think. If they're not engaging, then they're not interested. And that's actually wrong, because lurkers can often be your most interested prospects. They might just not be ready to engage publicly yet. So you might be thinking, well, why? Now, one of the first reasons, they might not want their network to see what they're actually interested in. Because if they like or comment on a post which says something like fixing your sales team, their entire network can see that. And they might just not want their team to know that they're looking for help. The second thing is that they're researching quietly before they're making a decision. So they might just be in evaluation mode, watching multiple people, and they're just not ready to signal their actual interest yet. The third reason is that they might be decision makers, CEOs, VPs, and founders, and they don't often engage casually on LinkedIn. They might consume content, but they don't like and comment on everything because they're just too busy. So silence doesn't necessarily mean disinterest. It means that they're watching and they are evaluating. Now, the opportunity for you is that your best clients are probably lurkers. They're the ones who view your profile multiple times and the one who read every post that you publish. They're also the ones who are watching you consistently, but you're finding that they're not the ones that publicly engaging, but they might actually still be interested. They just might be waiting for the right moment to engage, and your job is actually to give them that moment, and this is the lurker to buyer strategy. So how do you identify lurkers? Now, through LinkedIn, the first step is to check the who viewed your profile tab on LinkedIn, because it shows you who viewed your profile in the last 90 days. So you want to look for people who viewed your profile multiple times. The second step is to look for repeat viewers. So if someone has viewed your profile 3 or 4 times, they're not just casually browsing, they're actually evaluating you in some way, or they're really curious about something at a minimum. The third step is to check your post analytics, because LinkedIn shows you who's viewing your posts, and look for people who are viewing but not engaging. These are your warmer lurkers, so they're interested, they're just not engaging publicly yet. So let me break down the lurker to buyer strategy, because it's a 3-step process. The first step is to identify the warm lurkers. So these are the people who viewed your profile multiple times, or they're viewing your posts but not engaging. The second step is to give them a private engagement opportunity. So you want to create a way for them to engage with you privately and not publicly, and we'll cover how to do that in a moment. The third step is to move them into your funnel. So once they engage privately, you then have their contact information and you can nurture them towards a book call. Now, this strategy works because it respects the lurker's desire for privacy while giving them a low friction way to engage. So the first step is to identify them. So go over to the tab which says who's viewed your profile. It's the section you'll see on your profile on LinkedIn, and look for people who meet this criteria. 1, they viewed your profile 2 or more times. 2, they fit your ideal customer profile. And 3, they're a senior decision maker like a CEO, a founder, VP, or director. These are your highest intent prospects. You know they're watching you and they're evaluating you. They're just not engaging publicly. The second step is to basically give them a private engagement opportunity, and there's 3 ways to do this. The first is to offer a free resource via direct message. So you'd send them a personalized message, something like, hey name, I noticed you viewed my profile. I just put together a resource on topic and I thought it would be valuable for you. Would you like me to send it over? The second option is to create a comment to receive post. So you post something like, I just created a free guide on topic, comment guide and I'll DM it to you. This gives lurkers a low friction way to engage. The third option is to use a landing page. So direct people to a landing page where they can download a resource. This can then capture their email without requiring public engagement. Now, all 3 of these options respect the lurker's desire for privacy while giving them a way to engage. Now, step 3 is then to move them into your funnel, because once they engage privately, whether through DM, a comment, or a landing page, you've then captured their email. They then go into your nurture sequence and you send them valuable content that then builds trust and positions your offer. Then you direct them to your VSL, which is your video sales letter, and that explains your offer and the transformation it delivers. Then finally, you invite them to actually book a call. Now, this is the same funnel that you use for everyone else. The difference is that you're giving lurkers a private on-ramp instead of requiring them to engage publicly. So let me give you a specific DM template for reaching out to lurkers. You can do something like, hey name, I noticed you viewed my profile a couple of times and I wanted to reach out. I saw that you're working on specific challenge or goal based on their profile, and I just put together a resource on related topic that I think would be really valuable for you. Would you like me to send it over? So this message does three things. The first is that it acknowledges that you've noticed them without being like creepy or overly intrusive. The second thing is it references something specific about them. So it's not just generic copy paste. And the third thing is it offers value and it's not just a pitch. And this is how you can turn a lurker into an actual lead. Now let me show you also the comment to receive strategy, because this can be really effective for converting lurkers at scale. So you'd post something like, I just created a free guide on how to build a 50K pipeline in 90 days, comment pipeline and I'll DM it to you. Lurkers will see this and think, I can just comment one word, that's easy, and I can get the resource privately via DM. So then they're going to comment and you DM them the resource, and in the DM you include a link to a landing page where they can download the full resource, which then captures their email. Now they're in your world, they're in your funnel, and you can nurture them basically towards booking a call. And this strategy works because, again, it's low friction and it's private. So lurkers are willing to comment one word, even if they're not willing to engage with your regular posts. Now, let me give you a simple framework for understanding profile view signals. One view actually equals curiosity, right? They see your name, they've seen it somewhere, and then they've clicked on your profile. Maybe they're interested, maybe not. But 2 or 3 views equals interest, right? Because they're coming back to check you out again, which in some ways means they're either very curious or they're evaluating you. Now, 4 or more views equals typically some level of high intent. They may actually seriously be considering you, and they're probably comparing you to some other options. So the rule is to reach out to anyone with 3 or more profile views who fits your ideal customer profile. Send them a personalized direct message offering value, and the conversion rate will be incredibly high because they're already interested. Now, the lurker mindset that you need to understand is often they're thinking, I am interested in what this person is saying, but I'm just not ready to signal that publicly, or I don't want my network to know that I'm looking for help, or maybe I just want to learn more before I engage. So your problem is to give them a private way to engage, a way that doesn't require them to have to do anything too publicly. And when you do this, you can unlock a massive audience that actually most people ignore. And once you actually do this, you're going to unlock the 90% of your audience that you're probably not touching right now. Second, you'll find you're going to get much higher conversion rates overall because lurkers are already warm, they've been watching you, they're ready to engage, they just need the right opportunity. And third, you book more calls from senior decision makers like CEOs, VPs and founders who are often lurkers. And when you give them a private way to engage, you'll find they do. You can actually find that some of your best clients come from your lurker audience because these are the people who have been watching you the longest and they're the most convinced that you can help. Now, this is a small piece of the type of thing that we cover within the Influx Autopilot system to get you to a point where you're generating leads on autopilot, qualified leads through LinkedIn, underpinned by a guarantee of at least $50,000 in net new pipeline within 90 days. So if you want to see a bit more about getting these full frameworks to convert lurkers into actual paid clients, I'm going to leave a link in the description box below, which has a short video, a short free training done by me, which breaks all of this down to give you a bit more depth and detail, and I'm sure you'll find it very valuable. So I'll leave a link in the description box below for that video. Outside of that, I hope you found this particular video helpful. If you did, please do take a second to like it, comment, share and subscribe. And I do look forward to seeing you on the next one.